For our next lesson, we're going to learn how to write the equations of lines. In our previous lesson, we learned how to graph the equations. So in this particular set of videos, we're going to actually break this down into 4 possible scenarios that we could write the equation of a line, going from, I guess, easiest to, I don't want to say hardest, but a little bit more challenging with each step. And it really has more to do with that you have more steps to take for each progressive one. So what we're going to do, we have a little concept summary box here that should recap a lot of the things that you learned in Algebra 1. Slope-intercept form, point-slope form, and of course, when given 2 points, we have to find a slope. So we're going to use this concept summary box. We're going to refer back to it as we go through each example. So we'll start with example number 1. And you can see in example number 1, we are writing an equation with a given slope and a y-intercept. Now, this is probably the easiest, most straightforward version that we could use because we have a line that's in slope-intercept form where all we need to do is come up with the slope and come up with the y-intercept, and we can plug it straight into that form and we're basically done. So you can see we're given a graph here, and we need to identify the y-intercept. And so I'm just going to put a little highlighter on the y-intercept. And then from there we just need to count until we get to another point on the line. And so you can see we can either count over and then up, or we could count up and then over. Either way, we're going to get 3 over 2. So now that we have 3 over 2 for the slope and 0, negative 1 for our y-intercept, we could just use the negative 1 portion of the y-intercept and plug it into our slope-intercept form. And then at that point we're done. So this is the first example of writing an equation of a line, and it's in the most basic form. So let's try that in a sample problem. Just go ahead and pause the video and work sample problem number 1. And we give you a lot more information in this graph, so it should be a little bit helpful for you. You didn't actually have to come up with it on your own. So go ahead and identify the appropriate parts and write the equation of this line in slope-intercept form. Okay, and so if we recall, slope-intercept form is mx plus b, and we're really just looking to replace these 2 parts. And so you can see here, it was somewhat given to us. We didn't really have to do a lot of work. In some cases, you're just going to be given the graph and not given all of the information the way we did here. But so if we plug all this in, we have negative 3/4 as our slope. It's very vitally important that you remember to plug that x in there. That x is part of this. And then the y-intercept, we're only going to take the y value, which is a 2. And so we now have this equation in slope-intercept form, and that's as far as we need to go. So that is our first example of writing the equation of a line. Again, if you ever have any questions, be sure to jot them down and then ask your teacher in class the next opportunity.